So I was feeling some discomfort inside my chest for a while, and after doing many tests I know that I have bicuspid aortic valve, aortic stenosis, lot of regurgitation. Aorta is dilated, so I needed surgery. So now cardiologists refer me to two surgeons, one from the El Camino Health, another from the Stanford Medical. So finally I had the chance to meet both of them. They both are nationally recognized doctor, has many years of experience, done more than 10,000 open heart surgery, but they both have very different personality. One person is not interested in much talking, just briefly answering any questions I might have without any sugarcoating. Another doctor is very polite, trying to explain everything the best way possible, giving all the comfort. But anyway, they suggested me to replace my valve because that would give better outcome than repairing it. They also said that I should do it very quickly, within a month or two, and also said that not to do any long distance air travel until the surgery is done. After talking to them, so looks like the surgery is going to be a open heart surgery, and when the valve is working properly and blood is flowing normally, then everything is fine. But because I have a leaky valve, so blood is flowing all different direction, and it is actually pushing the outer wall of the aorta. As a result, aorta got dilated. So they need to replace the aorta, they need to replace the valve. So the valve they are going to use is going to be a biological valve, which is made from cow or pig tissues, heart tissues. And the aorta they are going to replace with a artificial tube. It's called decorn, that is made from polyester. So that is going to be the surgery. So after 2 days, finally I decided on the surgeon and the date of the surgery, which is going to be on February 29th. I am doing it quickly because there are no point of lingering anymore. So which means I have only a month to go. So the countdown just begun. So this surgery is going to be a life-changing event, and it comes with many uncertainty. I am not feeling anything abnormal in last few weeks, no symptom whatsoever. So, and I'm going to have this huge surgery in a month. I'm just wondering, like, really I need the surgery. So most of the time I'm learning about the surgery, how to recover from it. But when I really internalizing it, that is freaking me out. There can be many different kind of complications can come from this surgery. One is that the heart may not even come alive again after being stopped for 3 to 4 hours. Delirium is another problem which is actually altering the state of consciousness, losing memory, and that can be a huge problem, and which comes from long anesthesia. Atrial fibrillation can come from heart being stopped for such a long time, which is basically irregular heartbeat going really fast. And if that is not treated on time, that can be really fatal. During the surgery, if they damage a wrong part of the heart, which can create a long-term problem, which means that I have to have a pacemaker for rest of my life. Internal bleeding is another big concern that comes from the stitches going on inside there. Pneumonia is another big problem which comes from the lung being stopped for such a long time, and lung is getting weaker and also trying to hold a lot of fluid there. Kidney can be damaged because of the a huge amount of medicine going on during the surgery, and after that chance of infection and many other problems, right? So thinking of the surgery is very scary, as you might imagine. And so to keep my mind off, I'm trying to make myself very busy, trying to finish all the tasks I can think of needed for next 6 months or so. So far I have seen only the reports but not felt anything serious symptom which proves that I have something wrong inside me. So basically I was looking for a symptom that proves that convinces me that I need this surgery. So yesterday was Sunday, February 3rd, and I pushed myself a bit too much. I went for a 5 miles walk in the morning. Felt little tired, but not that much. Came home, made breakfast, and prepared some food for a few of my friends who are coming to visit me. And after that, I did some serious amount of gardening work. But so far, I was fine. In the evening, I helped my wife to move a heavy object, which is a reclining bed purchased for me. And that was heavy. After moving that heavy object, I was feeling some discomfort inside my chest. It was the heart which is trying to squeeze. The pain was not very strong, but it was going on till next morning, and I was worried that if it goes worse, what to do. But at least this convinced me, and I know right now that I have to have this surgery. Something is wrong inside the heart. So if someone is ever in a position to replace a valve, then one of the difficult choice to make is that selecting the right valve. And that is because there is only two types of valves available. And they both are far from being perfect. Initially, I was interested in mechanical valve because mechanical valve can last for a long time, and if everything goes well, I don't need to worry about another surgery, right? The problems that comes with it is blood clot. So valve is made with carbon and some metal, and when the blood comes in contact with it, is tend to clot. And to ensure the blood is not clotting, I need to take blood thinner. It's called coumadin or warfarin. But too much blood thinner can create problem like bleeding. Blood can come through nose or from urine or maybe internal bleeding, right? Now, if the blood thinner is too little, then it will start clotting, and that will create another serious problem. So that means I have to maintain a right balance, and to keep the right balance, I need to check my blood regularly in home and also at least once a month in clinic to check the INR level. And INR stands for International Normalized Ratio, which is basically is that a normal people without any blood thinner, the INR is 1. And when the INR is 1, it is going to take between 10 to 13 seconds for the blood to clot. With the INR level 2, it is going to take double the time, which is going to be, let's say, 24 seconds. Now, mechanical valves need to maintain an INR level between 2 and 3. When the INR is too high, it makes the blood thin, and it gives more time for the blood to clot. That way we can reduce the blood clotting problem when it comes in contact with the valve. But the INR level too high means that blood is very thin, and it is going to create all the bleeding problem. This means that I have to be careful with any cut or wound, because it is going to take longer time to stop any bleeding. Now, there is one new valve available called Onyx that required only
INR level between 1.5 and 2, and which is great because that way we can reduce the problem of bleeding. But I am afraid that when required INR level is that low, then there is a very little room to make any mistake, right? For example, let's say if I forget to take medicine, then INR level is going to fall and the blood is going to start clotting. Also, the lifestyle can also interact with the INR level. For example, vitamin K will interfere with the INR level. And if suddenly I eat too much green vegetables, that will increase the vitamin K in my body, and which will reduce the INR level, and that will contribute to the blood clotting. And if the INR falls below the required level, then blood will start clotting. And as you know that when the blood clots, it will go different part of the body, and if it goes to the brain, it's going to create stroke. If it goes to the heart surface, it is going to create the heart attack. And if it goes to a different part of the body, the blood circulation in that part of the body is going to stop. So eventually you are going to lose that part of the body. Also, another problem with the mechanical valve is that it creates a clicking sound which goes on all the time, 24/7, and that can be very annoying for some people. On the other hand, the biological valve in most cases doesn't need any blood thinner, but it has its own limitation. These valves are made from cow, pig or human heart tissues, and they undergo with various treatment to reduce the risk of blood clotting. The problem is the life of a biological valve is only about 10 to 15 years, and for younger people it lasts a much shorter life. That because younger people create more calcium in their body, and which will calcify the valve leaflet and start breaking them off much quicker. One good news is that this valve is designed so that it can adopt a new valve when the old leaflet is tear off, and that will be done through a minimally invasive procedure using the catheter. So let's say if I need to change again in 10 years, I don't have to go through another open heart surgery. They can put it through my groin using the catheter, and the recovery time is going to be much shorter. So after a lot of consideration, I finally decided to have the biological valve. But again, it is personal choice and depending on the patient's lifestyle and many other factors. If the patient is young, they will probably give the mechanical valve because that way they can avoid the multiple surgery in their lifetime. And if the patient is above 65 years old, the biological probably going to be only choice. But again, doctor will recommend what is the right choice for you. In an operation like this, I should tell all my friends and family and get all the help I can, emotional or physical. Also, there is a chance of uncertain outcome. 2% people won't survive this surgery. But my parents, they live halfway across the globe. And I don't want to share this information with them right now because that's not going to help anyone. It's going to create a lot of stress and anxiety for them. So I have to keep it secret from my family and my friends. Only a handful of people knows about it. My plan is to share this information when everything is done. But then this morning I got a call from my sister. My dad is admitted to the hospital. Now I cannot fly all the way across the globe because doctors said not to fly. And my surgery is also in less than 3 weeks. And I cannot explain them why I cannot fly. This feels horrible. I know something like this is going to happen. It always does. So last November when I went for annual physical checkup, I said no to all the vaccines doctor asked me to take. But knowing that my surgery is coming, I need to get vaccines which can protect me from infection or other complications.
So I got flu vaccine, COVID-19 booster, shingle, hepatitis B, and pneumonia vaccine. Now they give only 2 vaccines at a time, and I have to wait 2 weeks for the next one. So it took me a month to get all of it. So lung is one organ which is exposed to the outside world every time we take a breath, and during the surgery the lung will be stopped for many hours. So lung will be very weak and vulnerable to get infection, and because of that reason I need to get all the vaccines. So today is February 11th. So we are going for a long drive today, and we are planning to go to Big Basin. It's a redwood forest. We'll be doing some hiking there, and also we are going for a long drive today because my surgery is coming in about 2 weeks. I think 18 days to be exact. And last 2 weeks I am not supposed to go to a public place before my surgery. So today is my last chance to go for a long drive before the surgery, and after surgery also I won't be able to drive for at least 2 months, and not supposed to go to any long drive for at least 6 months. So I'm taking the opportunity today to just go for a drive, enjoy the nature, do some hiking, have some good food. That's it. Thank you. So I came for pre-op checkup. So pre-op checkup is there are going to be 2 parts. One is the clinical part. They are going to do the lab, means that they are going to take the blood, urine, do the x-ray of the chest, and some ultrasound of the neck. And there is also a teaching part going to be involved there. So they are going to teach about the process, the procedure, the outcome, and also how to prepare for the surgery and how to recover from the surgery. So I am here. So they asked me to sit in this room. My blood pressure, oxygen and temperature check is already done. So now I am waiting for a nurse. I guess she is supposed to, or she or he, supposed to explain me the entire process. Probably going to sign many papers today. Me and Shoma is sitting here and watching the heart. So you see, this is the heart, human heart. This part you see here called aorta. So for me, this part of the aorta is actually dilated.
Lean towards me. Your body, like turn towards me.
So it took about 4 hours today for the pre-op. They did all different kind of testing. I signed a lot of consent form. They gave me instruction how to prepare for the surgery. They asked me to apply for 3 months short-term disability time off. That is going to be a problem. I don't know how I can be out of work for 3 months. So I'm having my surgery in 10 days, and today me and Shoma came to get familiar with the hospital layout, to know what is where, because I'll be having all the fun, resting and getting all the best treatments, but Shoma has to do most of the work. She will be driving, she will be doing whatever is needed. So she needs to know what is where, right? So we came here to visit the hospital.
Yeah, I think she would good. Actually,
So our Stanford visit is done. So we are now heading home, and this is the campus. Today is February 25th. So I have exactly 3 days before my operation. And how am I doing? Physically, not much. maybe little bit this and that going on inside my chest, and that is all. Emotionally, again, not really feeling anything. It's kind of weird, I know. I guess only time I am feeling little heavy is in the morning, between the time I wake up and leave the bed. But my wife is feeling lot of anxiety, and understandable, because she will have the most difficult time if something goes wrong. So first few days after receiving the message, it was really hard. It was kind of surreal. I was kind of like a state which very hard to explain, and I don't think anyone can understand unless someone is in that state. So I was almost seeing everything as if I am already gone. Also, I never met anyone with a valve problem or heard anything about the leaky valve. So suddenly in the morning when I received the message from my doctor, called me and told me about the valve problem and said that I can have heart attack at any point. So be very careful and go to the emergency if anything is feeling wrong. That was a surreal. Finally, I think I am getting my anxiety hit. Last 2 nights I could not sleep much. Kept waking up. Not exactly thinking about the surgery, but something was building up inside me. Also, I went for a mile walk yesterday, and halfway through my walk, I was feeling out of breath. I was keeping myself busy so that I don't feel the anxiety. But then I just realized that I lost the chance to experience the feeling of going into a big surgery. Today is my last chance, but actually I'm way too busy today because I have too many things to take care before going off from work for a month. Also, one of my friends is coming to be with me next few days because of the surgery. I got few last minute requests today. So one is that I have to write one letter to my daughter if something goes wrong. Also, one of my friends asked me to draw Ma Durga before I go to the surgery, so I have to do that. My surgery day is here. It is tomorrow. The checking time I have is 5 a.m. So I have to wake up really early if I can sleep. I have to take a bath in the morning with some special solution they have given. This one is called chlorhexidine. I need to apply this from my neck to toe. So in the surgery, first anesthesiologist will come and put me to sleep, and they will insert a breathing tube inside my trachea so that the machine can start breathing for me. Then the general surgeon will create an incision middle of my chest here. It's about 10 inch, and they will use some metal clamp to open that up. So they will make 2-inch cut near my knee and a hole in my groin to harvest a vein which will be needed for the bypass. Yep, there will be a bypass as well. Not needed immediately, but they will be doing it anyway, because in open heart surgery they like to do anything which should be addressed in next 10 years or so. They will stop the lung and heart and keep it cool with some ice pack. They will be using the heart-lung machine to do the blood circulation. Then the cardio surgeon will come and remove the damaged aorta and the valve and place a new valve and the draft, and also 2 bypass will be performed there. They will make few holes just below the rib cage to insert few tubes to extract the excess fluid building up inside the chest, and also place a temporary pacemaker. One catheter will be placed inside my neck just here, which will go all the way to the heart to check the blood pressure and the heart functions. Finally, they will start the heart and the lung and close the incision with some metal wire and stitches. But don't worry, I won't be feeling anything because I'll be in deep sleep. I understand my life will be very different from tomorrow, even if everything goes well, but it is beyond my hand now. I can only hope for successful surgery, but I understand things can happen. So this is my final goodbye in case things goes wrong. But most likely I will see you soon with more Life is a Drama series. Take care.
Peace.